What is next for the San Francisco 49ers and Kyle Shanahan after going to the NFC Championship last year and losing that game to the Philadelphia Eagles because Brock Purdy was knocked out of that game, and to making the Super Bowl this year and losing to the Kansas City Chiefs? How can this team get better moving forward? And is Kyle Shanahan the right head coach with this team? I see a lot of people saying that Kyle Shanahan choked the Super Bowl away because of what he has done in the past. This is the third time now while Kyle Shanahan has been the main play caller for a team that they were not able to go out there and execute and finish the job. It happened a couple of years ago when they lost to the Patriots 28-3 when he was the offensive coordinator for the Atlanta Falcons. And just a couple of years ago, the San Francisco 49ers went to the Super Bowl with Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy Garoppolo missed some key passes in that game, but they were up by 10. They lose it to the Kansas City Chiefs yet again. And just a couple of years later, they lose to the Kansas City Chiefs again as well when they are still up by 10 points. The biggest thing with Kyle Shanahan is just run the football more in crucial situations. He is going to forever have that tag on him until he can win an actual Super Bowl of being a coach that cannot manage the game in the Super Bowl. When you're up by double digits, you have to go out there, run the football, and possess the clock. They didn't do that against the Kansas City Chiefs. And I think everyone did play well, except for guys like Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk. They were having a tough time getting off the line of scrimmage. And that's the first thing I want to talk about with this offense. Brock Purdy is a very good quarterback. I think that Brock Purdy can be a franchise quarterback with this team for the next couple of years. You guys know how I feel about Brock Purdy. I think that he's an all-world quarterback, and he's one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. 31 touchdowns passing to 11 interceptions behind a very inconsistent offensive line. Trent Williams is one of the best tackles in the NFL, but he is getting older. Everyone else on the offensive line was very inconsistent this season. Aaron Banks is not a good guard with this team. You need to go out there and get another center as well. And you have Colton at the right tackle position. He's a guy that had a lot of solid moments this season and a lot of bad moments as well. One of the main reasons to why the Kansas City Chiefs went out there and beat the San Francisco 49ers, they did not have an answer for Chris Jones in the interior of the offensive line. They have to go out there and fix that part of the team, and I trust them to. John Lynch is one of the best general managers in the NFL today. Look at what he's been able to do over the last couple of years. This is a very active football team. They went out. They got Javon Hargrave in free agency. They made a trade to get Chase Young. Just a couple of seasons ago, they went out there and they made a trade to go get Christian McCaffrey as well to put this team over the top. And they draft very well. They've drafted guys like Brock Purdy. They drafted George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk. They have drafted guys in the past that are able to go out there and contribute to this team immediately. The same with Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw. So I'm not worried about them going into the NFL draft. They can hit on their draft picks. It's just going out there and getting the right offensive line to go out there and help Brock Purdy. There is no reason to why Brock Purdy should have to go out there and scramble around and try to make crazy throws to guys like Kyle Juszczyk and to guys like George Kittle. And they need to go out there and get another wide receiver as well. Deebo Samuel is a very good wide receiver. I'm not saying that he's not. I don't want people to take my words out of context here. But Deebo Samuel is a wide receiver that struggles to stay healthy at times. And besides the one season they had a couple of years ago, he's only had one 1,000 receiving season in his career. And I understand that he's more than just a traditional wide receiver. You could put him inside the slot. You could put him in the backfield. He's not the biggest fan of being put in the backfield anyway. You need to go out there and get another wide receiver that's traditional like a Brandon Ayuk to put this team over the top. Jawan Jennings is a very good wide receiver, but you're still going to have to go out there and find a good number 3 option to have alongside Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk. You look at a guy like George Kittle, who is a great tight end. He's one of the best tight ends in the NFL. Right now, a lot of people are looking at him sideways because he only had 2 catches for 4 yards in the Super Bowl. That comes down to coaching as well. They should have schemed on more plays to get George Kittle involved, because George Kittle will have games to where he doesn't have those many receiving numbers on the field, but he's going out there, he's blocking, he's making an impact on the game. But they should have used him more in the red zone situations against the Kansas City Chiefs and just spread things out for Brock Purdy. You finally have a quarterback that can go out there and make elite level throws and that can deal with a lot of pressure. Fix the offensive line and get another wide receiver with this team as well, because Brandon Ayuk, he's the best wide receiving target with this team. He's coming off an all-pro year this season. 1,342 receiving yards and 7 receiving touchdowns. He's been the most consistent player besides Christian McCaffrey on the offensive side of things. Now, you can say Brock Purdy is also very consistent as well, but the most consistent weapon with this team, besides Christian McCaffrey, is Brandon Ayuk. He doesn't deal with the injuries like Deebo Samuel, and he has more explosive plays to him than Deebo Samuel as well. And like I mentioned before, I'm not trying to put Deebo Samuel out there and say that he's overrated. A very good player, but a lot of people want to come on here and say that he's a top 5 to top 10 wide receiver. That's not the case. Very good wide receiver, but they need more help and more speed to help out this team as well with Brock Purdy. They need to put a guy inside the slot that can take the top off the defense and open up things underneath for guys like George Kittle and for Brandon Ayuk. The San Francisco 49ers are going to be in a great situation for the next couple of years. I think Kyle Shanahan is still a very good head coach in the NFL. He's one of the best head coaches in the NFL. It just sucks that he can't win in the Super Bowl. That's the one thing that he can't get off his back right now. He hasn't been able to go out there and finish the job. If they can go back to the Super Bowl next season, they should be in a great situation. And I look at their defense as well. Their defense was very good this season, but it wasn't the same like how it was with Robert Saleh and how it was with DeMeco Ryans. You made the trade to go out there and get Chase Young. The defense did look better. And then you also went out there and made Steve Wilks step on the field as well. That's when the defense started to look better. Dre Greenlaw, unfortunately, did tear his Achilles against the Kansas City Chiefs, who's trying to run on the field, just a freak accident. You have Fred Warner, who is one of the best linebackers, if not the best linebacker in the game today, especially in coverage. That kid is amazing. You're going to also have some returning pieces as well. Hufanga, a very good safety with this team, missed majority of the season. He missed 3 months of the season dealing with a torn ACL. And before he got injured, he was looking like one of the best safeties in the NFL. And you have Jair Brown as well. So if you could play both of those guys at the safety spot, amazing situation. That's why they had to bring in Logan Ryan. This team did not want to go out there and put Logan Ryan at safety. Logan Ryan was a guy that was a free agent. He was chilling on the couch. They had to go out there and get more depth pieces because their star safety went down with a torn ACL. You have him. You have Jair Brown. You have a very good secondary as a whole. And I think that Steve Wilks is a very good defensive coordinator. He just needs to come with more adjustments. Travarius Ward is a very good cornerback with this team. They have the good pieces with this team. They just have to be able to get over the hump. Getting to a Super Bowl right now is not good enough for this team. Get to the NFC Championship is not good enough with this team either. For the last couple of years with the San Francisco 49ers, they have been one of the best teams in the NFL. They just can't get over the hump. Whether it's Patrick Mahomes that's stopping them or whether it's just a crazy Ravens team a couple of years ago when they had Colin Kaepernick. I don't know how much longer this roster is going to be able to stay intact because of all the contract situations that are going on with this team. You just paid Nick Bosa a lot of money. You have a guy like Brandon Ayuk. He wants to get paid. Deebo Samuel just got paid as well. Christian McCaffrey has that contract. They're rolling over $38 million from this previous season over to next season, so that should help them out in the cap space area. You should still be able to go out there and get some big names in free agency if you want to go that way, especially on the offensive line, because Brock Purdy is on that rookie deal. And a lot of teams have made power moves in the past when you have a guy on a rookie contract, especially at the quarterback position. Look at what the Dolphins did with Tua, and he still hasn't gotten that contract extension just yet. It gives you more flexibility. They have that flexibility right now, but at the same time, a guy like Brandon Ayuk is not going to just go out there and take a discount to stay with the San Francisco 49ers. I feel bad for the team because they went out there and it seemed like this was going to be their year. Christian McCaffrey had an MVP type of season, the same with Brock Purdy as well. It is hard to get to the Super Bowl in back-to-back years, but if it is a team that can do it, it would be a team like the San Francisco 49ers. Now, they did show a lot of weaknesses in the offseason as well, in the postseason as well. When they went against the Green Bay Packers, they were down big in that game. They came back because of Brock Purdy. When they went against the Detroit Lions, they went down big in that game as well. They came back because of Brock Purdy, and they were the first seed in the NFC. It seems like that this was their best chance. But if you go out there, you fix the offensive line, put some key pieces right there, and if Kyle Shanahan can just manage the game better and just run the football more with Christian McCaffrey, there's no reason why this team cannot go out there and win the Super Bowl next season. It is a year-to-year league, so we will have to wait to see. Unfortunately, we're going to have to wait a full year to see if the San Francisco 49ers can go in there and can they actually win a Super Bowl underneath Kyle Shanahan. But I believe Kyle Shanahan is more so on the hot seat than Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy played very well in the Super Bowl. Did he miss some throws? Yes, but he had immediate pressure in his face, and the play calling by Kyle Shanahan did not work out in the second half. He went very conservative in the fourth quarter when you didn't need to, and there is no reason why players on the offense should not know the overtime rules. Instead of kicking that field goal, he should have went for it. Instead, he went too conservative, and he trusted the defense, and the defense at that point in time, they were worn out. They did not have a true answer for Patrick Mahomes, and that's one thing to think about as well. You went out there and you made a trade to go get a guy like Chase Young to go out there and be a major impact player against scrambling quarterbacks. He had a lot of good moments this season, but the thing is with Chase Young, even though he is a good defensive player at times, he deals with a lot of injuries, and he'll have a couple games here and there where he is not doing as much. He wasn't that explosive playmaker on the defensive side of the ball that they were hoping for, because you have Nick Bosa on the other side. Nick Bosa is a guy that gets double teamed a lot. So you expect for Chase Young to go out there and make some major moves with this team. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. Now, I'm not calling him a bad football player. I think that he can stick around. It just depends on how much money he's asking for as his contract is coming up. But let me know in the comment section below, how do you guys feel about the San Francisco 49ers and what should they do moving forward? If you're new to the channel, hit subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one, guys, stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Peace.